Welcome back to the podcast. We're joined today by Karl and Day and... Wait a minute. Karl, wait a minute. I thought you said you had a fourth guest.
Well...
Or a third guest.
Well, funny story, right?
Wait, why? What's... Oh, your phone is charging. Never mind.
Yeah, funny... Yeah, it's not recording. Yeah, it's literally...
I was like, are you trying to release the podcast early? He makes a Patreon. He's like, I will release every episode of the podcast early.
A secret plan.
Yeah.
So basically, right, I've been wanting to get back on the podcast for a long time because the last time I was on the podcast was May 29th. And over a Zoom call, this is the first podcast I've done back to normalcy. And that is really, really cool. But anyway, so I tell Lukas today, hey, I'm free, which never happens on the weekends anymore. It's hunting season. So I'm free. I'm free on Friday. So I'm like, hey, I'm 100% good to go today. I don't care who it's with. Let's do this today. So he's like, all right, cool. And I'm sitting next to Day in Spanish. So he's like, what do you want to do with Day Morrison? And Day was all, she wants to do it, right?
Right.
Yeah, so she wants to do it. And then Lukas tells me, okay, who do you think we should do as a fourth? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. Well, you got to get a fourth. Don't show up to my house unless you have a fourth.
Well, Karl was like, can we show up at 2:20, which is right after school? And I'm like, well, I have some homework to do, and I also have, I have to take a shower and clean up and stuff. And I was like, just show up. What you find a fourth, and then you can show up because I figured it would take a while for him to find a fourth.
So I agree.
No, you snapped us. You said, hey, I found the fourth person.
Or no. Then Karl said. Or Karl called me and he goes, at 2:20, and he goes, come outside. I'm like, you better not be here, Karl. I said, don't come. And he's like, no, I'm here. So I go outside, and he's like, I'm like, oh God, what has Karl got planned here? I thought, so then Karl's by himself, and I'm like, well, you got the fourth person? And Karl goes, Day's bringing the fourth person. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, because right before I went outside, I snapped Day. I'm like, do you have the fourth person? And she responded. I didn't see what she said. So then she's like, oh, Day's bringing the fourth person. Who do you think it is? And I'm like, I don't know. Who?
And you snapped me.
And then I opened the snap, and it just, Day says...
Karl said he was bringing someone.
Yeah.
I'd like to think of it as there is somebody here, right?
Yeah, I'd lie.
So... We don't see anybody sitting in this chair, but what if they're just invisible or a memory? Like, what if...
What does this mean,
What if...
Karl?
Is secretly...
Karl, that's a spoiler alert, Karl.
How is that a spoiler?
No, I've been saving that story for so long, Karl. That's like my best story.
Okay. What if, right?
This pen sucks.
What if the number of playoff wins the Twins have in the last 15 years is my guess?
Playoff wins?
Yeah, 0.
0? I don't know. I don't know.
What?
I'm just gonna ignore that you just said that, Karl.
Oh my god.
You are so cringe.
If Kaiser's listening to this podcast, he'll laugh, but whatever.
Well, I get what you mean, but what is 0? Oh, the guess is 0?
There's nothing here.
No shit!
Yeah, we know that!
Then, so what's the guess? What do I put in the fourth slot? Did I do like what I did? I put another mystery?
How about this, right? In your Instagram bio, you have The Rock Johnson labeled as your spam account. So, what if you just photoshopped The Rock into...
The Rock is here?
Yes.
We might have to have Nate Demlow return for another episode. Did you hear about how he made an appearance on one of the other episodes?
No, but I hear a rumor going around about Nate Demlow.
What?
No.
I thought we can't say names.
You can say Nate Demlow.
You know where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah, but why you said don't talk about rumors on the podcast? What is this, drama alert?
The rumor is that when you say Rock, right?
Uh-huh.
Apparently Nathan Demlow.
That's exactly what I didn't want you to say. That's exactly what.
I don't know, because The Rock. Whatever. All right, so the point is, guys, nobody's in the seat, and it's my fault. I fucked up. It's Karl's fault again.
Uh-huh.
Like it always is.
Like it always is.
And I'm not sorry about it.
Karl, why would you lie? What do you gain from lying? Why? What do you have something to do tonight? Do you have to be done with this early?
Someone to go on a date with.
That's a good transition.
No, don't talk about that.
I can talk about it without. No, I don't.
You could talk about it, but I feel like you wouldn't want to.
I think I'm gonna listen to Day on this one. I don't think I'm gonna go into that. So, Lucas, how are you doing with online school? How was the hybrid working?
The hybrid is going well. Let's just say the best part of my day is waking up at noon.
Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
Wait, why?
I wake up at 7:30 on the days. Well, no, now it's more like 8 a.m. I wake up at 8 a.m. on the days that I don't actually go into school. This morning and yesterday, the days I do go into school, I wake up at 6:40. Every day I go into school. And because you have a study hall first hour, they're just like...
I don't have a study hall first hour.
Wait,
not anymore.
no,
Because it's block 2. I've actually shown up to school at exactly 7:50 both days. And since I have my Spanish teacher first hour, but she doesn't really care if I walk in a little late. But my sister, who I have to drive to school, she's got the health teacher that we had in sophomore year. You know who I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
The woman. So she has to go get a pass. Yeah. So she's been really mad at me. Which it's kind of my bad, but it's at the same time, it's like I leave here like 7:30. The funny thing
is about that woman is that she's like a gym teacher too, and she's like a super like germaphobe. So what I'm scared of is if some poor sophomore just like sneezes or coughs in her class, she's just gonna go over there and just like tackle them.
Dude, I would not be surprised if she brought like a fucking like Clorox put inside of a super soaker.
One day she just like locks the door like behind her.
She's like she shows up with a hazmat suit like Dwight.
She's in a hazmat suit. And she's like, guys, I heard somebody cough. Has a fucking grenade in her hand and just fucking like makes it explode and like cleanliness in the classroom. So Day, how? What
the fuck was that transition?
That was awful.
Day, how has the hybrid been for you?
Pretty easy if you ask me. I actually get my work done. On top of that,
Day, what classes do we have together?
I have to help you with calc.
Ooh, that is true.
We have Spanish together, which I am more superior at.
Bullshit.
Karl, I asked you to help me with my Spanish today, and you're like, well, sorry, I'm a Spanish officer, but it's not like I know how to do the Spanish.
And we have calculus together. And when I tell you that
I'm good at both.
Yes,
better than
you are very good at both, but I'm slightly better than you at Spanish.
You can speak better, but you cannot do any of the homework without me.
Caliente, por favor.
Shut up.
Is what I just said. Okay. So.
Oh my
God. Lucas the translator, everybody. So, calculus, I shit you not, to the audience who's listening to this, I have not done a single test in that class. We are a fourth of the way done with that class, and I have not legitimately taken a single test. And, well, wait, can I even say that? Or am I going to get in trouble for that? No. Like, it's all, like, distance learning. So, like, and the teacher, it's so funny, because the teacher will be like, guys, no resources other than a graphing calculator. That's like I don't know if I can say this. That's like on the on like certain websites that you can't be on until you're 18, and then it as soon as you get into the website, it says, "Are you 18?" and it clicks yes, and then you're just on the website. Like that's how strong of a barrier her saying don't use.
Like don't go on. Yeah, I know what you mean, but it's also like when like you watch like you're on Disney Channel and the commercials are like Wizard 101, ask parents permission, and obviously you're not going to ask your parents. Why would you ask your parents permission to go on Wizard 101?
To go on like clubpenguin.com.
Yeah.
Oh my god. How have you been passing the test, Karl?
I've been cramming at the last minute.
Bullshit.
Cap.
9:00 p.m. every night during the test, I would get a call from Karl saying, hey, can you help me with this one question? And it turned out to be the whole flippin' test.
That's what I do with Willem. I'd be like...
And then on top of that, I haven't even done my own test, so I have to still get that
Well,
done.
You could have done yours earlier.
I'm smart enough.
You could have done yours earlier.
Yeah, or by yourself.
Karl, by the way, I forgot to mention, you know how in episode 2 we had the quarter rule?
Oh, yeah. So
we're bringing that back.
Oh, no. For season 3?
For season 3. So basically, if you say something that requires me to bleep it out, I'll be more lenient on you because it's your first time. But if you say something that requires me to bleep it out, you have to give a quarter to each other person on the podcast. But I'll be more lenient towards you. Wait. But hypothetically, you'll probably make money from this because Karl's on, and Karl's an idiot.
So I have one bleep so far.
Karl, you've had 2 bleeps so far.
Okay.
How many do I have?
So 0.
So 2 bleeps. I have 2 single dollars in my pocket. If I were to say a bleep thing 6 more times in theory, then I could give you both $1. So, because it would add up to 8, and then 8 quarters divided by 2.
No.
You're not doing that math.
No, Carl. It's a quarter to me, a quarter to Dave. So you lose 50 cents.
It's a quarter to me.
So if you say 2 more things.
Oh, per one? Per one. Oh, no.
This is why I took
Wait.
the test for you.
Oh, so it's per one. So per bleep, it's 25 cents per person.
Correct.
Okay, so if I go 2 more times, then it's $1 to both of you.
Yes. Yeah. Because
Alright.
you owe me 50 cents and her 50 cents. But we're starting now because I never told you.
Are you sure?
Wait, so what's a bleep?
So like if you say like the town name, if you say like where I work, or if you say like
okay.
where say something, if you say a teacher name or talk trash about
have
someone
you,
or
like speaking of like where you work, because like before we started talking, we were talking about like people doing stuff on top of the roof of that building, but no, that doesn't count. No,
I'll bleep it, but I'm not going to count as
All right,
a
cool.
letter.
Because I said like the beginning of the first syllable. So where I work, it's a rather large like department store. Kind of, we are in a really large building.
We get it. Grocery store, yeah.
The other day, I go into work, and one of my managers and one of my shift managers comes up to me, and they say, "We've had some people like walking on the roof at like 9:30 p.m. and like these teens are just banging on the ceiling, and we can hear it really clearly. So if you like hear any of that, you gotta call us because we're gonna call the police." So have you ever had any experience with people doing like dumb stuff around where you guys work, or because you guys both work? So like, you have anybody like throw rocks at the windows or anything, or?
That's actually good. Oh, yeah, we actually, you know Carter and McGrath?
Yeah.
We actually banned them from the restaurant a couple days ago.
Are they legitimately like
well,
banned?
if I'm there, I'm not gonna let them get their food. But obviously,
okay.
nobody else would knows them.
Oh, okay.
So they came up to the drive-thru and were blaring Travis Scott and said, "We don't even work. I don't even work at McDonald's." But they said Travis Scott fucked.
You know why we're here.
They said Travis Scott. Well, they did that at McDonald's. They said, "You know why we're here, man," and then started playing Sicko Mode. But then they pulled up playing Sicko Mode, and they said Travis Scott McFucked me in the ass.
Travis. Oh, I'm not gonna say what I'm about to say. No, I'm not gonna repeat that.
Not gonna. Why do you? I like how he does 2 sentences about how he can't say it.
Okay, so
Wait.
Dave, how's Lucas just explained his situation. So how's your gas station doing?
Well, I haven't worked there for a couple of months because I've taken an educational leave.
Educational leave, okay.
But I still got wackos who just come in and
Oh no.
It's the way they shove food down their clothes that is always interesting to me.
Oh, they try to shoplift?
Oh yeah, but
Really?
there's cameras all over the place.
I can only imagine.
And you can hear it. It's like.
What do you say? Do you even do you even call them
Let
up?
them go.
Wait, do you guys have the the things on the doors that can scan items
Yeah, but you can't do it through clothes.
No, we don't have that. But we have cameras.
I know where I work. You could literally, if you were sneaky enough, nothing goes through those. We don't even have scanners on our doors, so you could shoplift anything if you really wanted to, which I'm not condoning.
I was just thinking hypothetically, what if I put something in a bag, and you know how sometimes you'll have a bucket or something in your hand, and you'll spin it around with your arms.
Yeah.
Hypothetically, you could do that over the sensors, and then.
Well, that's why places like Walmart always have someone.
They've always got people
Yeah,
there.
they have people there. Nobody, me and the boys on whatever, Christmas Day, getting a PS5 and scanning it as an Apple at the self-checkout and leaving.
Yeah.
You got a receipt? Yeah, I got a receipt.
Are you getting the PS5, Carl?
It really, really depends. Because the other day I saw, for example, NBA 2K21, not I'm a huge, basketball video game fan, but just the video that they showed of the next generation graphics, it was unbelievable. And you said it a few months ago when they announced the PS5, Carl, you shouldn't get a PS5 until there's a reason to get it. Why would you get it and then just not have anything to do with it? So,
Jack Dunn getting it to watch Netflix.
Yeah. So, Dave, are you gonna get a PS5 or?
No, I don't even know what a PS5 is.
Do you know what PS stands for?
No.
What?
I know. I have.
What do you think we're talking about? Car parts?
No, isn't that a video game?
Yeah. It's
Yeah, I know what a DS is.
What does that stand for?
Oh, I don't know.
I
don't know what it is.
Double screen.
Double screen. I thought it was like digital system. It's like
Digital system. Everything is a digital system.
oh damn. So senior picture.
Do you know what Xbox stands for?
It stands for something?
No, I'm just fucking.
I was like, how do you make an acronym with a word that has 2 X's in it?
You know what Xbox stands for? It stands for Xbox One X.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. Literally, it does.
Xbox is the worst at naming shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know how many people pre-ordered the Xbox One X because they thought it was the Xbox Series X?
Like, it's almost as if they have like a word limit of like 10, and they're only allowed to use the words Xbox, X, and Series.
Well, seriously,
like,
PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3,
at least we're
PlayStation
doing
4.
it in order. And I say we as if I'm part of PlayStation. Or at least we're doing it in like a numerical order rather than like they all sound the same. Like,
It's Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, but they also got like Xbox One X, Xbox One S, Xbox Series S.
I kind of find it funny because about 30 minutes ago, before we started recording the podcast, while you two were still bitching at me over the whole nobody here thing,
Which is your fault.
which is totally my fault, Mrs. Morrison. I just like to point, Miss Lo siento, mi falta.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, they missed the cringe, didn't they? The what? 70 people that listen to this. So what was I?
70s.
It'll be like 25 with you on this.
70 is over exaggerating.
Oh yeah, so you said about 30 minutes ago, I'm worried, Karl, that with 3 people, it's just not gonna, that third person isn't gonna talk. And that's been a huge symptom so far of this podcast. So, Day, what's going on in your life right now?
Shut the fuck
Why do you
up.
do that?
Day, what is going on in your life right now?
Well, I have to deal with all your emotional drama.
How about this?
Plus your homework.
How about we tell a story that doesn't have Karl in it?
Yes, that'd be awesome.
We should talk. I've been saving this story for Day to come on the podcast about when we killed the spider in Day's house.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Yep, I remember that.
That was funny.
It was in the basement, and I came, like,
Wait,
inside.
when was this?
This
Shut
is
up,
like
Karl.
a
Just
long
shut up.
time ago.
You're not in the story.
It was a valid question.
This is probably
Talking here,
in
adults.
January, maybe? January, December?
Yeah, it's, you know. And I
It's
was
a
on
long
the
time
phone
ago.
with someone, and I'm like, can you come kill this spider? He's like, no, I can't. I'm like, do you know anyone who could kill it? And he's like, ask Lucas. So
Because I live close to,
we
live close
Lucas.
to
I said, Lucas, can you come kill this spider? You're like, you're kidding me, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, no. So he comes over with this
no.
younger brother.
Well, no. The person you were calling asked me to do it, and I'm like, so I just assumed that, not to like be sexist or anything, but I just assumed that you were like afraid of some like tiny ass spider that I would be like, oh whatever, I'll go kill this spider. I actually don't like spiders, so I don't really like killing spiders. But I shit you not, Karl, this spider was probably bigger than, it was probably the size of my hand. It was huge. It was the biggest spider I've ever seen. Like, it would belong in a zoo.
So, like, do you have, like, illegal chemicals in your basement that, like, make normal spiders and the big spiders?
Shut
or
up.
do you live in, like, Africa?
She lives in the Forbidden Forest, actually.
Oh, yeah. The Forbidden... Like,
What the fuck is that
Chamber of
spider's name?
Secrets.
It's like, it starts with an A, I think.
Aragog?
Yeah, Aragog.
It's Aragog. Harry Potter knowledge.
Yeah.
You're such a nerd. Anyway. So Lucas came over and he looked at it. He's like, "What the actual heck?" And his little brother, like,
And
I
my
don't know
sister
about
Henry
him,
and
but
Chloe are
he's
both
just
there.
swearing in the background. And
Henry wasn't. I'm swearing in the background. Henry isn't
So was
swearing.
Henry. Henry said a couple. I'm like,
No, he was not
Oh,
swearing.
no.
and so I paid Lucas like $26.
Yeah, she paid me a ton of money, and my mom was. I got home, and my mom was like, "What are you doing? Why?" Are you? But oh my god, I was there for like probably 45 minutes. I literally come in. I'm wearing a sweatshirt, sweatpants. I think it was actually over the summer. It might have been. It was in July. It was before this podcast even started.
All I know is you had flip-flops. That's what you tried to kill it with.
Yeah, I had flip-flops on my hands, and I had shoes on my feet, obviously. And I was there. The only like accessible part of my skin that the spider could touch would be my face. And I had this plan. I was like lining it up, and I swing, and I fucking miss, Karl. The spider falls, and I'm like, where'd it go?
No.
I don't remember where it went. I know I literally swipe it, I take my hand off, and it's gone. And it's like Star Wars. It's like when the guy's like the guy's like, there's been no body. We can't find Yoda's body. And then Palpatine's like, then he's not dead. Double your search. And there, I swear to God, the thing right below it was like a filing cabinet.
Yeah,
there was so many pieces of paper. And so we just knock over the filing cabinet. The spider's nowhere to be seen. And so we're like, oh, we're fucked. And what I probably could have used is probably like one of those plastic like things, like doormats where you put like your winter boots so like the snow melts into them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That would have been perfect.
I'm just thinking, like, why don't you just use like a huge like flat thing, like
anything huge. I use like I use a shoe and I fucking miss.
Yeah.
So then I try to
Like, it was my mom's album stuff. You didn't want to mess anything up.
I didn't want to mess anything up. Eventually we find it, but it's on a flimsy ass bag. And then so I'm like, well, I can't kill it. The only thing we could do is, the only solution we had was Day had a broom. She was going to sweep it down, and then someone was going to put it on top. I think what ended up happening was she swept it down and then just held it down with the broom. But we didn't know if it was dead because I like punched the broom, and I was like trying to kill it. We didn't know, so we put a bucket on top of it and like swiped the broom out. And we're like, well, we don't even know if the spider's underneath. So we slowly moved the bucket, and we saw its legs stick out. And we were like, I don't know if it's alive. I don't know if it's dead. So I individually sliced off each one of its legs one by one.
Oh.
And it sounded evil, but I wanted the spider to be dead. So in the end, there was 8 legs on the ground and a fucking thorax.
You should have like taken a picture of it. Maybe biology teacher would have given you like extra credit.
No, it was fucked.
No, it's funny though, because not what you guys just said, but
How was that not funny?
No, that was so funny. But like,
that was so funny. You have a video?
Yeah, I took a video of like the first couple of seconds.
Can you send this to me and can I put it in?
It was, you can barely see it.
Oh my god! Yeah, send that to me, or I'll put it in.
The biology teacher and like one of the anatomy teachers at our high school, he killed a bear for hunting season a couple years back, and so he guts it out, right, and so there's no like drippings anywhere. He just brings like not the carcass, but he brings the skin and just lays it on a lab table for his kids to see walking in on Monday morning, which is sick. But like,
wait, carcass of what?
Of a bear, like a black bear.
Wait, what?
Like, you didn't see that? It was like last year. Speaking of black bears, I would...
Oh, yeah, Karl almost died.
Yeah.
But it's funny, so...
Yeah, Karl almost died. But it's funny, trust me. It's so funny. What if I, like, almost got hit by a car? Karl almost died.
Yeah, Karl gets in a car accident.
Karl, like, narrowly dodges a bullet. But it's so funny, right?
Yeah, Karl almost like, drowns in front of his whole fucking...
This is just a... this is a little bit of a... So I'm hunting season right now. In Wisconsin, it's bow hunting season. Gun hunting will open up in about another month. But I've been every weekend for the last 3 weekends, I've been in a stand on Friday morning, Saturday morning at 6 a.m. I have not slept normally in months. So I get in the stand on 5 p.m. on an evening a couple weeks back. And I haven't seen anything in this spot. So I'm like 15 feet in the air, right? I haven't seen anything. No deer, only squirrels. And the squirrels make they rustle in the leaves and they make noise, and like, is that a deer? No, it's just a squirrel. But you'll know the sound of a larger animal because squirrels, they only make like tiny noises, but when a big animal is moving, like it moves whole bushes at once. So I hear over my right shoulder, okay, that is definitely not a fucking squirrel. So I grab my bow, which is sitting to the left of me, and I just get ready.
This is playing Minecraft.
So I see something out of the corner of my eye that isn't a squirrel, like moving through the bushes, about to come right in front of me, like right broadside. So I think it's a deer. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to get ready. So I grab my bow, and I put my release in, and then I stare down at what is a black bear, a fully grown black bear. Now, a black bear by itself is fine, but when it's a mama bear, it is a mama bear with 2 cubs. That is the worst type of bear. Bears are fully capable of climbing trees and just ripping the shit out of you. When it comes to mama bears, they will do anything to protect their kids and their cubs with them. So at this point, if this bear sees me, I am fucked. Like, I am so worried that this bear is just going to, like, sit at the bottom of the tree.
Are you not wearing all the orange shit, too, for...
No, that's gun hunting. You only have to wear that for gun hunting, so I'm bow hunting. So I'm just fully camoed, and my face is, like, super white. And I'm staring down at this bear, and the bear he sniffs, or she sniffs, and, like, the bear stares directly at me, less than 10 yards away. And this bear stands up on its hind legs, I'm not kidding, and just stares at me. And I'm just not moving. I am petrified, because if I move a muscle and this bear actually sees me, that's a whole different equation. But it just...
Do you think you could outrun the bear?
No, hell no.
You think outrun me?
Huh?
Carl can outrun me.
Through all
he couldn't outrun you when you were wearing that fucking ankle bracelet for the last half the year last year. Carl, couldn't you, like... Could you hypothetically get a Hail Mary shot with your bow and
no, like if it would have come beneath me, I would have 100%. Why am I doing this action? Nobody can fucking see it. I would have 100% shot it with a broadhead, and I was almost thinking about just shooting it anyway.
Just so you can say you killed a bear.
Yeah. No, let's be honest, right? If like a normal bear would have walked through, yeah, I would have killed it. But like when it's a mama bear with 2 cubs, like. After a while, the mama bear tells the cubs to like go off on your own now. But that would be so shitty of me. That would be so shitty of me to like just like kill their mom. And then they're just like, what the fuck happened? So anyway, the bear finally gets down from its hind legs and it walks off, and my heartbeat was just thumping. And while the bear was having a staring contest with me, I was listening to the Be Quiet podcast.
Yeah, he was.
So, like, what happens if this bear climbs up the tree and eats me alive while I'm just listening?
Wait, so you're in the tree?
Yes, I'm up the tree, because, like, I'm in a tree stand.
Oh, I thought you were standing in front
No,
of it.
no, I'd be dead. I would be dead if I was standing on the ground and that bear would have seen me or smelled me. Believe me, the only reason I'm still alive is because I was up a tree.
Damn.
And, so let me pull up the picture of the bear so you guys can see it. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
The next week.
Can you send me the picture so I can post it on?
The next week in college.
Answer the question.
Yeah, I'll send you the picture.
Okay.
But the next week in college psychology, our teacher, he goes, "Listen, guys, when it comes to fear, like public speaking is no different than going face to face with a bear in the woods." And I literally laughed so fucking hard. And I was over the Zoom call. I wasn't in person. But if I was in person, I would have like gone off about how I had just had a bear encounter the previous weekend. But yeah.
Public speaking is so much fun though.
Is it really?
Yeah.
What? No.
The teacher is so funny. Oh
what?
God.
Well.
Yeah.
So here's a picture of.
He made a fat joke one time.
So there's the bear walking with her 2 cubs and everything, and that's it standing on. It's about to stand on its hind legs. But yeah.
Wait, so you're afraid for your life and you start taking pictures?
Well.
Selfies.
Yeah.
You know,
if I'm gonna die, at least I should. They should know that I was I recorded a TikTok.
No.
I'm not kidding. I recorded a TikTok.
Oh
my
God.
TikTok is. Oh, this is a whole nother act. So somebody start another story.
Another act.
Oh yeah. So somebody talk about something else, because TikTok is going to be a whole story.
You want to know something funny that happened last night at work?
What happened last night at work?
Someone
I almost slipped.
Someone called to complain about me.
Really? Because I've had a couple of customer complaints recently, but what was yours?
Okay, so you're gonna listen to it, and it wasn't really my fault. Well, it is, but I'm in the right in this scenario. I'm so in the right that my parents took my side, bro. They never take my side.
Yeah.
So last night, right, we were getting fucking obliterated. Like there was where I work. I don't even understand why people go there, because the food is way more expensive than other places, and you also have to wait like 30 minutes in line, especially like last night.
The best.
Sure, but you want to wait 30 minutes in line. So, anyways, this person comes up, and she's got a kid's meal, and she's got a regular meal, and they're both chicken tenders, right? And I see that there's ranch on there, right? It's usually what happens when you order ranch. They give you ranch in the bag with the food, right? She comes to the drive-thru. I'm about to tell her how much her food costs. She goes, "Can you give me my ranch now?" And I'm like, I think this is who called, because This is the only person that I had
Okay.
attitude towards, right?
Okay.
And if it was anybody else, then they can
Okay.
go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
So this person's like, can I get my ranch right now? And I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? And she's like, okay, thank you. So I go and get her like 2 things of ranch. Keep in mind, our things of ranch are huge, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because we got like the way, like it's like,
Yeah, they're like portion size.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
2
A little,
times
like-
the size of like any like Arby's
A
or.
little like plastic container.
Yeah. So I get her 2 things of ranch. And then I'm like, okay, so it's going to be, and then she's like, can you get me more ranch? And I'm like, keep in mind, we're so busy. Like, there was so many people in the restaurant, which there shouldn't. There should only be 15. There was like 20. Because there was like a bunch of families there. I guess every family in our city decided that they were going to go out to eat last night.
At your restaurant.
Yeah, at my restaurant at like fucking 8 o'clock. And it's like, oh, come on, I didn't even get a break. I got food, but I was going to have a break at 6:30. Anyways, yeah, and I had to do dishes, which I usually start at like 7:30. And I did not get to start at 7:30. But, so these people come
So do you
in.
give her extra ranch?
Get this. So I'm like, yeah, I'll get you some extra ranch. Because I was looking at the thing, and she had 2 ranch for herself and 1 ranch for her kid. And I
Which
was
is already a lot of
Which is already a lot of ranch. You could probably, with those tenders, eat 4 tenders with maybe 2/3 of a thing of ranch. Which, whatever. So she got 2 for 4, and now she wants more for 6. Because she has a total of 6 tenders. So I'd say you could probably eat that with 1 thing of ranch, and 2 isn't enough. So anyways, so I'm like, yeah, here, let me ring you up first. So I ring her up, and then I'm like looking at the thing. I'm like, do I need to get her any like drinks or anything? Because there's a lot of shit going on. And she's like, well, I just need this ranch because keep in mind she could just wait for the ranch to come with her food. And she's like, I just need that ranch because like I got I'm like, yeah, I heard you, yeah. And I just walk away, and I go and I get her 4 things of ranch. So now she has 6 things of ranch plus how much is going to come with her food. And I just give it to her. I'm like, all right. Then I give her the rest of her stuff. And then a couple hours later, she calls. And I actually was the one who answered the phone. And I was like, she's like, can I speak to a manager? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I give it to the manager. And then a couple hours later when I'm doing dishes, he's like, but remember when you handed me the phone? That was actually about you because... And I'm like, if it was that fucking ranch lady, I swear to God.
The ranch.
The ranch Karen. Jinx.
Fuck.
You guys I have the biggest Karen at my place. Don't
really?
even-
Really?
Yeah. I
Is she
feel
like a
bad for Dan
manager, or-
because you know how Dan is. Just like Dan being Dan.
Is she like a
Yeah.
manager?
No, she's not. She's
She
like,
like a
a
customer?
leader, but she's not like we have
Oh, okay.
managers
Yeah.
and then leaders.
Uh-huh.
And poor Dan is just like being himself, making mistakes.
Uh-huh.
But she'll just call him out right there in front of anyone who's in front of him.
No.
That's bad.
Like, you're doing that wrong. And
Raw.
Dan, of course, has a good attitude towards it.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, when she does that to me, I either want to slap her in the face or start crying. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, especially when it's, like my parents come up and I have to register them out.
Uh-huh.
That's very embarrassing. Or my friends.
That is tough.
That is.
Top of that, my favorite manager just left the store, so now I'm stuck with it.
Oh, no.
So you talked about your complaint a second ago. So about like still in August, right? I had this woman and her son who looked like he was late to his pee-wee hockey practice come through my line in my store, and I was the cashier, and I didn't have a bagger with me, and I was already on lane 1, and lane 1 is the furthest. It's the furthest lane from the busiest one. 6 is the busiest one. So I'm already thinking, yeah, I'm set. I'm not gonna have a single customer for like my whole shift. But this woman, she just happens to finish on my side of the store. So she comes down my lane, and she has probably about $180 to $200 worth of stuff, and I don't have a bagger, which is already gonna piss me off. And the woman, she gets all of her stuff into my line, and she says, all right, paper. Paper is the worst thing you could possibly say to someone who already isn't in, like, in the best state. So I'm starting to bag this woman's...
Is paper more annoying than...
Paper's more annoying to do only because you got to, like, take it out and then open the bag and then put it open and then start putting the stuff in there.
And you have to, like, stack it. Right?
Yeah, and then after that, it's fine. But, like, plastic bags, you just stand there, it's so easy.
Uh-huh.
Paper bags are just so much more of a hassle. So I start bagging her groceries, and it's very clear to this woman. Like, I'm going as fast as I can, right? I'm scanning the item, putting it aside, scanning more items, and then finally filling a bag. I'm going as fast as I can without a bagger. And then the lady finishes putting the stuff on the belt. She comes down and she says, "All right, I'll bag then." And I'm like, "Oh, cool, thanks." Because some customers are like, "Okay, I'll just help you," because obviously, like, we'll go faster if I bag and you do this. So I start not throwing, but I start passing the items down to her so she can bag. And a lot of baggers at my store have told me that I throw items in bag. When I pass them down, I slide them, but I also at the same time, like, it's a hefty slide. I'm not just gonna, like, let it sit at the top. So I'm just sliding them down to her, and then she's loading her own groceries.
It's like the fucking sushi episode of Drake and Josh.
So she's loading her own groceries into these bags, and then I'm just the
greatest showman just started playing upstairs.
I hope you can hear that on the podcast. And I was like, "Days on your phone." I was like, "All right," but seriously, this woman is done bagging her groceries, and I'm not saying a word because I'm just focusing on scanning everything and getting everything correct because she's got a big order. And I finished with everything, and then I ask her all the necessary questions. I give her receipt, and then she walks away, and she's like, "Phenomenal customer service." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks." And then it turns out she was being sarcastic and she fucking hated me. So anyway, 20 minutes later, I get called up to guest services because one of my managers says, "So what happened with that woman like 20 minutes ago?" And I'm just like, "What do you mean? Like, I did nothing wrong." They're like, "Here at our store, we're one of the smaller places where people go to get their food, so they don't come here for the prices.
I'm gonna go close the door.
They come here for the customer experience and for the kind workers." And I'm just like, "All right," but the woman was already kind of being a bitch to me. And I didn't say that, but, like, the woman was already, like, in the wrong for having a terrible attitude. And so the woman decides to call in for some reason. I literally did nothing. I bagged her groceries, then she started bagging her groceries, and I passed items down to her, and I gave her her receipt. I did nothing wrong, and I get a complaint on me. It's unbelievable. Like, some people get so triggered so easily. Additionally, right, this will be a quicker one. I was bagging at the time, and the woman who was going through my lane at the time, this is a different woman now. She said, "Okay, can I have paper?" And normally the cashier, if the person wants paper, will, like, go out of their way to make sure the bagger knows that they want paper because, you're so used to just doing plastic. So my other cashier, Rachel, which you don't need to blur, it's fine. Rachel doesn't, like, say anything to me, right? So I just this woman had 3 things. Like, I'm not kidding you. She could have carried it if she wanted to. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. Don't get paper bags if it's 2 items. Like, you're not even going to fill up a quarter of the bag. So I put it in a plastic bag. I leave it up there. I stand back so she can grab her stuff and go, right? It's fine. So the woman, right, she comes up to where I was bagging, and she just goes, and she grabs her own paper bag, punches it open, and then she starts ripping all of the stuff out of the plastic bag and putting it in the paper bag. Then she just grabs her paper bag by the top, which is not even handles. She walks off. She's got the plastic bag in her other hand, and she just spikes the plastic bag on the ground, looks at me, and then walks out of the store. I'm like, holy crap! How big of a Karen do you have to be to care that much about what bag you're getting when you have 3 items?
There are some people in this world, Karl, that never have had a job until they got out of college, and you'll know. Like, yeah, it's like I will never working where I work. It's like just experience. It's like I'll never go through a drive-through and be a douchebag because I know what it's like to be in a drive-through, and it's the most painful experience
that's
ever.
a really good point.
So that's why when McGrath came through the drive-thru and started saying, well, it wasn't really McGrath's fault. It was mainly Carter, but it was McGrath's truck. McGrath, I was mainly mad at, though, because McGrath doesn't have a job. So it pisses me off when he does that, and it's like, well, nobody can do that to you because you don't do anything.
Wait, so what were they doing?
They just came in through the drive-thru and were playing Sicko Mode really loud and said, stop playing that.
You know why we're here.
Yeah, I fucking hate that. If you did that, you were a douchebag.
No, like I saw a TikTok the other day where these guys went up to a bank, like teller window. You know why we're here.
Okay, that's kind of funny.
Like, I'm gonna go up to like a gas station pump, like a self-serve gas station pump, and I'm just gonna be like, you know why I'm here.
Well, the thing about working at the bank is that like you don't have to like clean bathrooms or anything.
What if we get copyrighted for Travis Scott?
If we get copyrighted?
What if he claims the podcast because Sicko Mode is in there?
Well, then I'll go in and bleep out those parts.
Okay, cool.
Dude, it's like my Decades project getting copyright striked because I used footage of the fucking Take On Me music video.
I think I got like the least amount of points in my Decades group. Everyone else got like a 96. I think I got like 82.
Why?
Because I did the day that they wanted to join, or like get together for the last work is the day I had this Spanish club Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I decided not to tell them until like an hour before it actually happened. And I said, "Oh, I can't make it." They're like, "Seriously?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sorry." And
Well,
then I think they told the teacher. So
I did all the work for mine. I did probably 12 hours of editing. I got 125 out of 125. I got 100%. And everybody in the group gave Bailey a C because he didn't show up to any of the things because he was golfing. And like he literally both times we were going to film, he didn't show up. And so we all gave him C's. And he actually got 130 out of 125 because there was a contest for the funniest scene and he had the funniest scene. He did 1 or 2 scenes.
I'm gonna be honest with you, like Bailey, no matter how much we can talk shit, he understands basic comedic acting. When he did the Whiskey Rebellion as a little like skit that we had to do for A-Push, that was the funniest shit I'd ever seen in my life. You know why? Because he was actually drunk making the video. He's just holding up a bottle of Jack Daniels.
Was he actually?
I think so. He had to
No,
have
he
been.
probably would.
Come on, he had to have been.
Well, if he was, then I have to bleep it out, dumbass.
Okay, he wasn't. Cool.
I'd assume that he wasn't. Because why would he do that in the video?
Know, by the way, Bailey's...
I don't think Bailey drinks.
I don't know. I respect Bailey because I've done his math test for him and he pays me. So
I said I'd...
Dude, Carl,
I
one
said
time...
I'd pay you. I said I'd pay you, and every time you're just like, no, I don't want your money. Shut up. Let me give you...
because you call me and you ask for help. You don't just say, like, here, take the test. If you say,
I'm not a
here,
douche
take the test, I will take your
One
money.
time-
I will never say, hey, can you just do this test for me? I have to say
then
nicer.
I'm not going to take your money if I'm teaching.
Jay, why do you let him walk all over you like this?
Because she's a nice person. Okay?
Yeah, and you're not. Anyways, I respect the Bailey. Well, actually, I don't respect the Bailey hustle because Bailey will just pay. He'll eat Electronic Arts his way through the entire school year. He literally
Microtransactions.
One time offered Karl a trip to Hawaii for him to do his summer homework for A-Push.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he did.
Why would you ask Karl to do the homework?
What was the thing he offered
done.
you? Didn't he offer you something else? He offered you a trip to
someone
Hawaii.
smart.
Didn't he ask like a ticket to like
No,
a
here's
Timberwolves
the
game?
thing. Like he started low, right? He lowballed me. He was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, can I give you $20 to do this?" Like, no, like because I was actually concerned about like getting in trouble for cheating in A-Push because it was like a college level class.
And it's the first one you've ever done.
Yeah, I was concerned. So I was like, no, I can't do that. $100. No, sorry. And at this point, he's so like, what do you mean you won't do it for $100? All right, front row Timberwolves game. Like, no, like my parents would never let me go to downtown Minneapolis with a random ass kid from my high school. And trip to Hawaii, and I'm like,
Parents let me come here. They don't know Lukas.
What do you mean they don't know me?
They're like, who's Lukas? I'm like, oh, he's my neighbor.
he's
My neighbor.
He's
He's the guy who killed the spider.
Oh,
So he offers a trip to
I
Hawaii.
didn't know that.
He offers a trip
What?
to Hawaii, and I'm just like, well, first of all, that's never going to happen. And how awkward would that be if I was just on a random ass trip to Hawaii with Bailey, his sister, his mom, and my dentist?
That is true.
I'm going to have to get my wisdom teeth taken out soon, bro. I am not happy about that.
Please make videos of it.
Carl, when I get my wisdom teeth taken out, I'm planning on just doing the podcast.
Oh, you're still high?
Yes. That'd be
You
hilarious.
had yours taken out?
Yeah, when I was young.
Gotcha, yeah.
I wonder if I have to get mine taken out. Do you have
Is
to?
that?
Do you have to do that?
It's the ones that are behind the last ones that show. Because there are teeth that are actually underneath your gums that will push on those ones. And if your wisdom, they're called wisdom teeth, the ones that are underneath your gums.
Mm-hmm.
If they're pointed, because you'll see X-rays, if they're pointed in a way where they're like pointed towards your back teeth, then they can cause tooth decay and like other bad shit. So that's why they take them out when you're like 18. And I'm so jealous of my dad because I
don't think I do.
I talked to my dentist and I'm like, hey, can you pull up my dad's X-rays? Because he said he never got his wisdom teeth out. My dad never got his wisdom teeth out because my dad's wisdom teeth are pointed straight up. How lucky do you have to be?
Dude, my parents didn't even need braces, bro. That's some cap.
Unbelievable.
And
Braces were the best thing that happened to me, I feel like.
Braces were the best thing that's ever happened to me.
oh my god, my teeth were so
I had a
bad.
huge gap, and now I just
didn't
have...
have teeth. There was like a couple
didn't
of
have
years
teeth?
where I pulled out all of these teeth. So it's just like a gap where you see my tongue when I smile.
So are any of those fake teeth?
No.
Oh, your adult teeth just never grew in.
Oh, okay.
No, what? These are my adult
Or
teeth.
they didn't grow in for a while.
They didn't grow in for a while because
That's
I
what I'm
used to
saying.
enjoyed like pulling out my teeth. Like that
Oh,
was
that's
the
one of the
thing to
most
do.
fun things.
Right.
I wish I could start over with my teeth.
I remember it was so weird when
Because
you're
the pulling them out is so fun.
when you're like
Yeah.
twisting a tooth and like you can feel that little last string. That's so weird. You ever lose teeth in class?
You're such a little sissy, Carl.
Yeah, he
Ew,
is.
the blood when I pull
No,
out my
no,
teeth.
no. I don't have a problem with the blood. It's just it's just the taste of blood is weird. No, I don't have a problem with blood. I don't have
Okay,
a problem with blood.
Fair enough.
So get this right. My the graduation party that you and I went to 2 years ago for the girl.
Yep.
Cool.
No, it was not the girl. It would have been the boy.
Oh yeah, it was the boy, but I went to the girls 2 years before because
I was also there, but I don't think we saw each other there.
Yeah, so she is going into some form of the medical field, and get this, right? She doesn't like blood.
Oh.
That's like 90% of the people who do that, though. I'm like, how stupid do you have to be? If you don't like blood, don't go into medical.
Yeah, I want to become a fucking actuary, but I really hate math.
You know, sometimes I wonder, it's just like, why do like colleges like and high schools require so much math if you're not going to be a math teacher? Like, who gives a shit about...
Well, math is
because
different. Math is
in
different.
life.
No, math is so important, but
Carl, I like how Carl will instantly flip his entire
No, I was
opinion
about to say
completely upside down.
But. So, math is important,
But
like, how important is radians? Like, how important...
dude, we're officially in the point. Like, I think after we went to the high school, that's where it was like, we will never ever need to
How about
know
like
this.
anything after algebra 2? Because
Yeah.
like you'll need like geometry and
Maybe
algebra 1
pre-calc.
certainly.
Geometry.
No, fuck
Anything
pre-calc.
after geometry.
Anything after I can agree on that. Anything after geometry is fucking
So anything
useless
for
if you're
me
not-
after high school.
If you're not going to do anything math wise.
So algebra 2, pre-calculus, calculus A, B, and BC are worthless.
I'm glad I didn't take
Where I'm at right now, I will never ever remember this. Like, we had, so at the end of, you know how they had the 2 blocks, right? So 4 weeks, we have like 4 classes in 4 weeks, or the next 4 classes. Well, my math teacher, we had the last week, it was, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? We had a quiz on Wednesday, right? Do the quiz. After that quiz, I'm like, okay, well, we're done. Because that's what it was for psychology. 6 assignments.
That's what I was worried about. Like, Day and I, our math teacher, I was so worried that, because she gave us a big packet. Like, I was so worried that she was going to like, okay, guys, here, have a nice 4.5 week break. By the way, you have 10 pages due when you come back.
No. They were due that weekend. Like, nightly assignments.
Like, the week's over. Nope, fuck
It's like,
you, bye.
no, sorry, I'm not gonna. Well, I did all of the assignments,
Well,
but
we get a quiz and a test on the same day, so
Well,
I don't know why.
yeah. But she's like, we need to prepare for when we come back. It's like, well, we're not gonna remember it when we come back. Have you not learned anything from all these years of teaching? No one remembers anything after summer vacation. That's basically what it's gonna be. It's a month.
Yeah,
It's a third of summer vacation.
It's unfortunate, man.
But anyways, also, I don't even remember what I was gonna say.
Are you taking college public speaking?
I am scheduled to take it.
Right now? Are you doing
Taking
it right
it?
For
now?
next
Oh,
semester.
you're doing it next semester. Never mind.
But from what everybody says, I probably shouldn't take it because it's really hard.
Oh, so
Or it's
here's
really annoying.
here's what's cool. So
It's
you
the
haven't
thing
taken
to
it,
do.
and you won't take it until January. I've already done a full month of it, and you just started. So after me having done it for a whole month, I'll say that the first 8 days of it are disgustingly hard. Like for no reason, he just makes it the most difficult class out of your whole day, even if you're doing the most advanced math class in the school. And then after that, it is very, very lax the rest of the month. It's almost like A push. He's like trying to get
Trying to get you to drop
he's
it.
trying to get you to drop. I almost
I
said
fucking
it.
hate A push.
I just don't like the way he talks like in class sometimes, because he'll ask you a question if you don't know it. He'll be like, okay, next person.
Okay.
What the heck? Like, I know the answer. He's like, nope, it's okay.
Okay, so
Yeah, we'll be in psych. He'll be like, celebrate being wrong, everybody. You know, it's okay to be wrong. And you guys are just like, next person.
So this is what's funny about that particular teacher is that at least twice in the last month that I had him, he did this thing where he's like, okay guys, so if I'm with let's imagine I have a little boy with me and we're at the Mall of America. And has he done that with you guys yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, so he'll like pull out his like imaginary friend and he'll just like look down at this imaginary little boy who's not there and he'll pretend like he's in the Mall of America. Okay guys, now hey little guy, we're gonna go to the shoe store first where I have to do a return, and then we're gonna go to the Mall of America, and then he'll go on for like 2 more minutes with this imaginary like little boy. So the next time he does it, I'm gonna record it for TikTok and be like, my teacher had a schizophrenic episode.
That's kind of fucked up, but
You know, it is, but I like to live my life unapologetically.
you. Oh my god! I thought he was gonna say something about like pushing them over the ledge of Mall of America.
What? Oh my! I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna make a
'Cause
joke like that.
That happened just over a year,
Yeah, it
and
was
like,
like a year
6
ago.
months ago. That was so fucked up. Like Nathan Schindler and
Was
I
that
were
like
just
the...
yeah, it was. Oh my god, it was so fucked up. So Nathan Schindler and I.
It's so fucked up. He starts laughing.
I'm laughing because Nathan Schindler and I just got finished watching the movie Shazam.
Uh-huh.
We just got finished watching the movie Shazam in theaters, and then we walk across a few streets and go to McDonald's to eat afterwards. It's like 9 p.m. at night, and there's a TV up in the corner of the McDonald's, and it's got a news story on, and it says, man at Mall of America like picks up child that isn't with him, like small child, and throws him down 3 stories to the floor off a balcony. And I'm just thinking, what in the Palpatine shit are we doing here in Minnesota? Like, that is so fucked up. Could you imagine if you were just like walking with like your future son or daughter and some random like crazy ass weirdo just like picks him up by like the jeans and just...
Did he survive, that kid?
Yeah, he
did.
survived. Somehow he fucking survived. I'm like, how?
Can he walk?
I don't fucking know. Let me check in on him.
Okay.
Oh, if I was that mother or father, I would just go ballistics on that guy. Heck, if I was
I'd
tall
beat the
enough
shit out of
or
him.
strong enough, I would throw him over.
Until he picks you up and just yeets.
Yeah, that's
Like,
it's ironic because yeah, Dave would probably get
yeah,
pulled.
day. Well,
It's like the fucking commercial of like everybody at the fucking the barbecue getting slapped in the face, like the
Yeah.
kid. That's what it's like for Day.
I just saw that.
Dave's like,
Yeah.
no, you little, and then she gets thrown over.
Oh my
I
God.
really hope that kid's okay because
out of curiosity, I didn't tell anybody, but I went and watched Empire Strikes Back at the movie theater on Sunday night. It's
well,
fuck.
okay.
I went and saw it in theaters because they're playing the retro movies right now.
Yeah.
It's such a cool experience to watch like an old movie.
I
because,
also watched Empire Strikes Back in theaters a couple months ago.
yeah, like it's weird because like you got technology here. You got a phone in your hand. You got this big ass screen in front of you. Like all these digital commercials, and then just the crap, not crappy, but like the filmmaking of the 70s just puts on the screen.
80s.
Empire was in the 80s.
It's
that-
1980, but
Oh, okay. Because, 77 was New Hope, right?
Mhm.
78.
77.
Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, as far as that kid at the Mall of America...
What were we talking about before the Mall of America? Oh, you were talking about your teacher.
Kid at Mall of America thrown is the second thing you search when you say kid at mall in Google. is now walking.
Yes.
The child, Landon, is now walking, quotes, perfectly with even legs, end quote, and loves attending school with his twin brother and sister, according to Post Friday on the GoFundMe page organized by the friend, which has raised more than $1 million for the child's recovery.
Imagine being his twin and people coming up and be like, were you the one that were thrown over?
No, it's my
dude. Imagine being the sibling of someone like I always would watch like Extreme Makeover Home Edition. You know what that show is?
Oh yes.
It's like with Ty, and he'd be like, "Move that bus," and they'd fucking remake the entire house. Yeah. I always loved that show, but I always felt bad for the sibling. I'm like, man, this person's gonna get a cool bedroom. He's gonna get like a fucking slide that goes to a secret basement that you can play like. But it's also like that kid has cancer, so it's also like no.
I want to know like how do they live in that house because it's got to cost money.
It's got to be just for TV purposes.
Well, no, they you know how much money they make from that show. They use the money from that show to make the house.
But then the family that lives in that house, how do they pay for everything in there?
No, it's the same like. I don't know.
It's the same concept.
They don't pay for the things in the house. I feel like the taxes
not,
would
for the
like
things,
taxes,
like air, like like AC and water and like all of that. Like they could. I'm just saying.
I'm saying it's on the same. It's on the same plot of land as their first.
What if they
house?
just put like an indoor pool inside like the child's room? And they're like, all right, have fun with the water bill.
Well, I'd get pissed if I was like.
I saw a TikTok a month ago that was like, so what? This is what happens on this like extreme home makeover. Like they always screw over the child with their bedroom. Yeah, so the kid mentioned he liked dinosaurs like when he was 4. So we made his entire room a jungle, and his bed is now a Tyrannosaurus Rex. This little girl said she liked dolls once. So we made her room a Barbie playhouse, even though the girl's 17.
Oh yeah, and then the person grows up and they have like the fucking dinosaurs
trying to sell
important to the structural integrity of the house. Dude, imagine trying to sell the house.
Dinosaur support beam.
Yeah,
like the neck of the dinosaur is just a fucking.
Well, they could probably fix that. They got to get Ty to return. Ty fucking what the fuck is his name? It's something long. Move that bus. Oh my god.
Oh man.
I never understood how a bus could cover a whole house.
Well, they have them stand like...
Yeah, they have them stand right in front of the bus.
Right,
like,
yeah. That's what
it's not a giant. It's perspective.
Shut up.
Move that bus.
Well, I thought it's like if the family was standing like behind the bus, they already saw the house. And they're just moving the bus for their show, not like for their actual family.
Oh my god. I think it would be funny if one of the times they did move that bus, when they did that, they would bring them to like the wrong house. So they would have like an empty plot of land or like a burned down house. So when they say move that bus, it's just fucking nothing.
Move that bus. It's just the house is destroyed. They're like, oh yeah, we're kind of running slow on schedule. Yeah, so just pretend that the house here will CGI it in later.
Yeah. It's just green screened in.
Yeah.
What if they actually just had them like stare at a green screen? Like,
no
what if none of the houses are real?
I'm sure that show would get canceled away sooner if the house wasn't real.
Oh man.
Remember when you showed me that picture in class that you said he edited?
What did I edit?
I'm not. I don't think I can say it.
Was it actually me?
It was.
But it was a picture.
When was the last time Fred was brought up on the fraud?
A long time ago. Oh, is it the one of him flying the plane? Yeah, that was me.
So hard.
That was me.
It took
me
1 minute to figure out what it was.
The best part about this picture of that Fred took, that is captioned by him saying "flying by myself" on Snapchat, is that he is probably within 500 yards of where he's going to touch down on the runway, and the plane is already like tilted in a way. So by the time he took the picture, right, he's at 500 yards, and you can only imagine how fast that plane is moving. By the time he spelled out all these words and then posted it on his Snap story, hopefully with one hand, saying that he needs to like control the fucking plane.
He probably didn't land after that. Use your knees, flying a fucking plane.
So like, could you imagine he just like he puts it on his story and then he's like, oh, gotta land, and then he just hits the ground immediately.
It's GTA. Yeah, so
no, I can't say that. Fuck it, I can say it. Has everybody gone to the airport in GTA who's ever played the game, gotten in one of the passenger airlines, and then just like crashed into a building on purpose just to see what would happen? That's happened. Come on, you can't tell me that you haven't done that, Lucas.
The only thing I've done is there's a mission where you have to assassinate someone out of a plane. Basically, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to show up, and then the plane takes off before you can kill them because you know where they are. Okay. Because you have the red dot. And you're supposed to get into a jet that's behind, like, in the airport and blow up the plane. But what we do is, because since we do the mission so much, because it's, like, the most efficient one in the game to get money sometimes.
Yeah.
So we'll just do, like, the same ones over and over again. We'll go in, assassinate the pilot, and then kill everybody else, and then fly the plane and then crash it and jump out at the last second and then crash, like, the passenger who's the target. So then we win the mission.
Today in physics, I was leaving the classroom because class was over, and I took out my AirPods, I put my AirPods in.
With your Samsung?
They work the same way, okay?
No, they do not.
I don't think they do.
It's way harder to connect, I think, with this.
What am I looking at?
I believe that they'll connect. Why don't you just get an iPhone, Karl?
Yeah.
Because your parents?
My parents have always had Samsungs, and they're like, iPhones are so confusing. I'm like, no, you're just old.
Yeah.
And like, I've been thinking about it more. Like, no, like I'll have an iPhone. I'll fit in with the sheep, but like iPhones aren't necessarily better than Samsungs besides camera quality. It's just that they're a status symbol.
I feel like, the reason that you don't want to have a Samsung is you don't want your name to be green, or you don't want the text to be green when you text someone.
Unbelievable. So I put my AirPods in, and I go to put my so I still have my AirPod case, which is now empty, in my hands. I go to like tuck my hood out of my backpack or something, and I completely lose control of my AirPod case. So it just flies like 8 feet into the air and then just crashes onto the ground.
8 feet in the air?
Really?
That would have hit the ceiling.
Oh, shit.
You couldn't even throw
that was maybe
that high.
2 feet.
So anyway, so it crashes on the ground, and this is when everybody's like filing out of the classroom. So what would have happened if my AirPods had been in the case?
Wait, 8 feet off of your hood or 8 feet off of the ground?
Off of the ground.
Okay, maybe.
So they just crashed they would have crashed onto the ground. The AirPods would have went everywhere, because you know what happens when, like, if you drop your AirPods, like they'll crash. And they'll go.
I do not know because I don't have AirPods. But
basically,
the
the AirPods will fly out of the case if they hit hard on the ground and the thing opens. Well, yeah.
Okay.
you get that
shit. No, but anyway, I've had it happen before where they just like fly out of the case. And I was so worried that was going to happen, but nonchalantly in front of like all the girls and everything, I just pick up my AirPod case and I just keep walking. It was the smoothest thing I've ever done. And like no noise was made. Nobody like even like noticed that I had dropped him. Just got him going. That was the most boring story I've ever told.
I got a trivia question for you, Karl.
What's the question? How many people asked?
No. What podcast number is this?
53.
Wrong.
What? 52? Oh my god, shit. We're on podcast number Minneapolis if we're doing it by Super Bowls. Next week will be Atlanta. After that, it'll be Miami.
You are such a nerd.
Sorry. Like, here's the common misconception about me is that, oh my gosh, show choir kid.
Finish a sentence! You started 4 sentences! No, I swear to God, it was... A common misconception maybe is like, oh my god, I gotta do it.
I'm not as bad as Burrow, like 3 weeks ago when he was like 3 layers deep.
Yeah, that was last week, Karl.
It was. It felt like it's such a long time ago.
Last week he was 4 layers into a story.
One story.
I thought I did finish stories, honestly.
You didn't finish a single one.
You
started 3 of them in 1 sentence.
The common misconception about me is that, oh, show choir kid, oh my gosh, music pod, oh my gosh, quit hockey.
Okay.
I love sports so much. Well, I am a nerd about
watching sports.
I am a nerd about the NFL. I'm a nerd about the NHL. When the Twins are good, I am a nerd about baseball. Not so much about basketball, but I still understand all of the players and why they're good, and the rules and whatnot, and all the storylines. Women's sports, that's non-existent. So Well, in the professional
What?
level.
What was that for?
On the
What the
professional
fuck is that supposed to mean?
Yeah, Carl.
Yesterday,
I guarantee I
Alright,
could beat your
alright.
ass in any sport.
I bet that's true.
Archery.
Easy.
What the fuck?
Nah, I'd kick your ass in
Actually,
archery.
I don't have enough fingers for that. So.
Yeah, I thought that was a joke off her,
No,
her
no, it
hands. I was
literally
like,
wasn't.
that's
It
fucked
literally
up.
wasn't.
I was like, what the
It
fuck?
wasn't.
That's a fucked up joke.
You can pull a bow like
I
this.
don't have enough hands or fingers on my hands to hold it.
You can like.
Really? Really, Carl?
It wasn't meant to be the joke.
Well, they can make special like bows for that, couldn't they?
I'm sure they could.
Like someone could make a custom bow, right?
I don't.
People, I saw someone without a fucking. You ever watched the clip day of the person? They don't even have arms.
The dude who like puts his
He has
You
feet.
want me to use my feet?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying don't use your feet. I'm saying they could make a custom bow. There is someone who
Listen,
is
this
in the
is a really
Olympics.
funny story.
There's someone. This is
It's
the
an
first
iconic meme. It's
an iconic meme of like the fucking Curb Your Enthusiasm theme, where this guy's has his like he's using his
I
feet.
know.
He's using his feet to shoot a bow, and then as he's getting the medal, the guy who hands him the medal goes to shake his hand, and obviously doesn't have fucking
any
arms.
fucking arms.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So then the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme plays.
Also, I'd kick your ass.
Point is-
at hockey.
I thought you were making a joke about her not having fingers, certain fingers, and I was like,
No.
that's fucked up, but it's because you go bow hunting.
For one day, I
For a second, I was just like, what the
for
fuck,
one
Karl?
day, I was in pre-calc with you last year, and you can like back me up on this. It wasn't until April that I even noticed anything about your fingers.
Most people don't.
Yeah, I didn't know until, I
mean,
don't even remember.
Like it's not
Yeah.
like unless you have like a hand.
Well, it's not something I just go up and be like, hey, I'm missing fingers, guys.
So you were just like, hi guys, what are you doing?
No, it's not. It takes them like a couple of weeks and then I might mention it to them. Unless they're just like, there's this one guy who graduated last year who came up and he's like, what happened to your hands?
Okay, that's really
And I'm
disrespectful.
like, oh, I Shrek just bit them off. And he's like, are you serious? I'm like, no, dipshit. And then I just walked away.
That's badass, honestly.
Well, why would you just come up and
yeah,
ask
that's
someone
a
about
dick
that?
move to just be like, like
Well,
imagine
what
you just went
happened
up
to
to
your
it.
face?
Like, yeah, what if you went up to somebody with like a mental disability, like, what happened to your face? And that's gonna get clipped.
Exactly.
That's gonna get clipped.
No. If anything gets clipped, it's when you said the archery thing. There's a guy who we used to have the bookmobile at our school, at my elementary school, and the guy who ran it was missing fingers, and he always said it was because fireworks. And I wonder if that was true. I just now realized that he could have been lying.
That could be because
He said he fucked up.
Oh yeah, fireworks
fireworks.
cause so much damage like every year.
Yeah.
Like yeah, fireworks are no joke, man.
We almost died because of fireworks, me and Chloe.
Oh yeah.
Because of one time we were at a 4th of July party, and I don't know what the women were doing. The women went to go somewhere.
What, your sister and your mom?
No, like my mom and her friends. But,
Okay.
So it was me and all the kids and my dad and the guys. And one of my parents' friends was we're going to let off some fireworks, and he like fucked it up. And right as the thing was about to light off, my dad is like, why is the thing like bent? It's like going sideways.
Why
And
is
it
the thing like bent? That's
it's-
famous last words.
It starts shooting at all of us, and we're like, my dad's like, oh fuck. He goes in and grabs me and my sister and like brings us away. And he got so pissed because the fireworks destroyed his Harmon Killebrew jersey. He was wearing a Harmon Killebrew jersey, and it got fucking destroyed by the fireworks. And he's like, you owe me a new Harmon Killebrew jersey. But oh my god!
Oh my
and
gosh.
one of the kids got fucked, like got scarred from all the fireworks. Like, oh my god, it was terrible.
Yeah, fireworks are no joke. Yeah, I think when it comes to moments in podcast history that are like unintentionally so funny, like when Burrow, however long that was ago, when Burrow was doing that story and he was like, and the car crash, he was like, "Arr!"
Yeah, that was me and bro.
That was
I think I listened to that one. Was that one the one at the driveway?
The driveway.
I listened to one where Dan was like driving
was
up.
he in the snow?
I
like,
think
he
so,
crashed into
yeah.
the snowbank.
No, that was Ellie and Danny.
Well, no.
I probably maybe I told that story on that one. Why?
Well, it was like him driving to school in the snow or something, and he was
No,
like,
it was him telling a story about his brother
Oh, okay.
driving.
So yeah, that story will always make me laugh. Like no matter what.
That's my favorite bit in the
That-
history of the podcast.
But I think when it comes to like unintentional funny moments. What I just said, archery, I think that's like up there in the top 5.
I like how you said something completely fucked up, and now you're bragging about it.
Because the only reason I say that is because it was completely unintentional. I said archery because I bow hunt.
Yeah, I know.
Because I haven't.
The funniest unintentional Karl moment. This is gonna be one of the last stories of the podcast. I don't know if have we told the McDonald's story after the movie?
What?
Let me tell the story, okay?
Oh, I gotta go to soccer practice.
Right now?
Yeah.
What's
that, Todd? I have to be there 10 minutes early.
Todd.
Him up.
I'm gonna bleep that, by the way.
Sorry.
That's okay. Wait, in how many minutes?
I have to be there by 4:50.
4:50. What time is it?
It's 15 minutes until that
4:36.
happens.
Okay, well, I
Okay. I'll tell this is the last story. We'll finish it real quick. So we're at a movie theater, right,
It's not
Jay?
my fault he started the podcast.
It's not my fault that you didn't bring
It's not
the
the fault.
fourth
You didn't bring
person!
a fourth guest, dumbass. It's your fault.
We literally spent an hour, and you're just like, you know what's funny? Like, you saying 3 stories, never finishing the ending of it.
Yeah.
And then I'm on my phone trying to call, like, people to come over.
Anyways, so we're at a movie theater, right? And we go to McDonald's afterwards. And it was the day that the show choir results had just got in. Carl was looking at the show choir results. And there's someone in the show choir who's a girl who's named CJ, right? And Carl goes, is that a boy or a girl? And I shit you not, while he said that, and CJ, that girl, was right behind us in the line. And I knew, I looked at him like, oh, look, it's CJ. And then Carl's like, is CJ a boy or girl? And I look at him like, oh my God. I can't believe you just said that.
Oh my gosh.
It was so funny.
And, I felt so bad. No, I didn't.
That's like the history of Karl. Like, I felt so bad. No, I didn't. Oh my God.
There's advantages in life to being manipulative. It certainly is.
What is that supposed to mean?
I have no idea. I just said that.
You are so weird.
Oh my God, tell me about it.
Okay, Karl, say something funny to end the episode.
Jack Dunn.